A couple more teams that are facing off against UCLA this weekend are women's water polo and the USC beach volleyball team. Being able to talk about that is Alexa Palermo right here. And then across the stage, we got Savannah Boone and Ben Albert. Guys, let's get straight into it. It's a couple 1-2 matchups, a little bit differentiating between which school holds the 1 and 2, but I'm going to get right into the heart of it. We got number 1 UCLA against number 2 USC water polo. And then on the other side of things, on the sand, we got number 1 USC going against number 2 UCLA. So when we look at it, which matchup is really more important?
I'm going to start us off. I have to go with water polo. Both teams are super strong, but beach volleyball is just unstoppable. You got Clays, you got Hughes. They haven't lost in 2 calendar years, so I think it's just a given that they're going to come out with this win against UCLA this weekend. But I think the bigger matchup is water polo because they've been riding a 52-game win streak before their loss to Stanford, so that was kind of a blow. Lost some momentum, but they're fresh off a win, 6-3. I think it's going to be a good battle. I mean, you got Harlebita's sisters in there killing it on offense, but I think it's just going to be a bigger matchup for water polo.
Savannah, I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to use some of the things you mentioned in the flip side. I think it's a bigger matchup for beach volleyball because of the fact that they haven't lost in 56 matches. I think a loss would be stunning and would come at a really bad time going into the NCAAs. For water polo, I do think it's a huge game. There's no doubt about that. But they've already beaten UCLA this year, and although they did lose to Stanford, they did bounce back and beat number 5 Cal recently. So I think it's a little less of a given that water polo is going to go into UCLA on the road and win. I think that you have to look at beach and say, defend the home turf, get this last game, get this win against crosstown rival, and at number 2, they're one of the few teams that might have a chance to beat beach volleyball. I think it's more important for beach to bring it home and keep their momentum going in, whereas with water polo, you could say, okay, at this, even though it's tough, they've experienced that already this year.
Okay, so Ben's looking a bit at the postseason. Savannah's looking at the now. Alexa, you gotta split the difference for us here.
Well, then I'm definitely going to get some flack for this one. I agree with both of you.
Oof.
I honestly, you really can't compare the two sports. They're both at a point in their season that these games matter so much. And I think when it's 1 and 2, they matter that much more. On the sand, the women haven't lost. They're unstoppable, but what if they do lose? What if they lose to UCLA? That's going to ruin their season. Over in the water, they're coming off a loss to Stanford, which hurt their season, and now they're tied at 2nd with Stanford. And so if they could upset UCLA, that's really going to bring their season back into the spotlight and back where they want it to be. So I think it would be unfair to both teams to choose one, as both of these matchups are super important to where their seasons are going to go.
Okay, so obviously because they're 2 different sports, you can't really compare them, but I'm asking you right now to give me a comparison. Which one is more important?
You can't compare, Connie. You just can't do it.
Okay, so Alexa loses this round. I'm going to vote water polo, so water polo gets the 2-1 win for the more important matchup. If you are over in Westwood, guys, you can catch the women's water polo game at 1 p.m. Or if you're sticking around USC's campus, head over to Merrill Norman Stadium for a 3 p.m. matchup between the beach volleyball teams.